Mental health is one of the neglected areas of health in Uganda, yet it severely impacts one's well-being and livelihood. According to the National Institute for Health Research, about 35% of Ugandans suffer from a mental disorder and 15% of them require treatment. 3 months after the death of his wife, Joseph Ajwal, a human resource consultant, is still coming to terms with the fact that he will never again see the woman with whom he shared his life for 17 years. For their 3 children, the pain is still raw as the realization hits that mental illness took away their mother.
So in 2006, less than a year into our marriage, she attempted to overdose on pills one night. She actually left me a note saying, "Take care of yourself, I'm gone." I called IHK. We had medical insurance with IAA. So I called IHK. They sent us an ambulance. At about 2 in the morning, she was rushed to the hospital. The doctors did what they needed to do. They cleansed her system, and she was fine after a few days of admission.
After this and many other incidents in the span of 10 years, they accepted the fact that there was a problem that had to be dealt with. Ajwal carried out his own research, consulted with medical experts and reached out to doctor friends.
So as soon as she got to the doctor's office, Professor Musisi Segane said, "I've run tests and I've listened to everything. You are definitely suffering from schizophrenia." And he admitted her for 8 days. Put her on very strong medication initially, so she became very sleepy for about 4 days. Then later on, as it wore off increasingly, she got to understand herself. And after such a long, beautiful sleep, she was finally able to be herself.
And with time, she stopped taking medication. Ajwal says he had to think fast. They needed a support structure, which is a must when dealing with mental illness.
As the years moved by, she increasingly distanced our friends from those family barbecues that we used to have regularly, because she no longer felt comfortable having many people in her inner circle. Her inner circle narrowed and narrowed and narrowed and almost remained just me.
As these events continued, Ajwal was aware that staying grounded was important. He also ensured that he cleared his foggy understanding of mental health.
I went to Cornell University, the World Health Organization. I did lots and lots of research on mental health. And I also became friends with counselors and therapists, one of whom is Evelyn Connie.
Back at home, things were going wrong. Her health was worsening.
The reason she broke down completely and eventually committed suicide was non-adherence to medication. So she says, "I will not take it for one reason. It says this drug treats mental illnesses like schizophrenia and bipolar disorder, none of which I am." So that morning, we were at work, and we chatted. 8:15 in the morning was her last message to me. We chatted. It was very brief. She's just telling me I'm a good husband, good father, and that I should take good care of the children. It didn't sound bad. That was her note to me. So at 12:17 p.m., I'm seated in my office. A call comes through from my caretaker, ordering me to go home immediately. I drove like a crazy man and got home, and I confirmed the visuals. And nothing prepares you for this.
Evelyn Lufafa, a counselor, says a family that has suffered such trauma needs therapy.
Now look at the children. One of them is even a teenager. So much as they may look as though they are coping well, but you cannot know what is going inside their mind, okay? One, they love their parent, They wouldn't love to see their parents suffering.
Many people cannot identify the signs of mental illness. Sometimes they are also in denial. Lufafa says they are working with religious leaders to help them in their understanding of mental illness.
Listens to a client is saying, there's someone who's following me. Pastor, someone wants to kill me. I see things, The pastor can pray and help stabilize the client, but also say, I would also love that you see a psychologist. It doesn't mean that the pastor is weak.
For now, Ajwal and his children are receiving counseling to help them recover from their loss. Andre Chamagedo, NTV News.
Conversation. I